Are you missing that key player on your team and don't have the coins to afford them? Go to Buy Muck Coins for instant delivery on Ultimate Team coins. Use code SAVAGE for 10% off at checkout. Yo guys, what's going on? It's Savage here, and a lot of you recently have been asking me like, yo, like, what's your new offense that you're running? And it is pretty dominant, and I'm not gonna lie, it is. It's probably one of the best offenses other than the Bengals offense that I ran all year. Now obviously I don't do like a lot of tips anymore just because, well, the game is so old now. And for all you troopers out there that actually still play this game day to day, I bless your souls. But I will drop this for all of you out there that are like, oh my god, what is it? It is pretty good. And I won't lie, it is pretty good. So it's going to be the Steelers offensive playbook. Dude, there's so much in here that I've never seen. And, like, obviously we got split close. I'm just going to go over the halfback wheel concept inside of split close. And I'm just going to go up against a nice little Tampa 2. Because Tampa 2 is a very popular defense out of, like, any single set. So this is, like, the basic thing. You just slant your receiver. Your circle receiver, you're going to just slant him. Obviously, by now, everybody knows that that's going to be, like, a money route. Obviously, there's going to be a user too, but odds are if your opponent is using this linebacker, he will probably try to bite down on the slant when he sees it coming across the field, leaving you be able to blind read that post at the top. You'll be able to hit whoever square is. I'll just show you that one more time, guys, but most of the time, the guy will be using, like, the generic middle linebacker. Then another thing that you can do to make it a little bit more glitchy, like by the way, I really want to make this like not a super long video. This is just going to be hitting all of the key points and stuff. And these plays are obviously can be just intertwined. Doesn't really matter what defense your opponent's running. You can just literally mix and match any of these plays. There is quite a few of them. This is another way that I run a headback wheel. It's very ideal against Tampa 2 just because you have the post route, and once you motion this tight end over, and you see how he goes up, like now it's like a bunch set right here, you're blocking that dude, you're going to be able to just completely quick read. You're going to be able to quick read that every single time. That corner he won't be able to react just because the way that the game is was made, it's a cloud flat, and a cloud flat's going to play that post a lot better. Pretty much the cloud flat is going to play the route that would give more yards up, and since that post would give more yards up, you'll be able to blind read that for 2-3 yards every single play. That's just if you want to motion them up. You don't really have to motion them up. I just like to motion it up because it throws the player off. The player most likely won't be like, oh, he's coming out and split close. You see motion like this, you're going to definitely be a little confused. So for the most part, you're going to be able to potentially eat your opponent alive if they want to come out in Tampa 2s. And if they want to come out in a cover 2 hard flat and they start playing the hard flats, you can just dink them over the top. I'll just show you guys that really fast. So if they want to shade underneath to prevent getting burnt by this route right here, that tight end route, if they want to play the hard flats, they will be able to bite down, but that's just going to expose them right over the top right there. But that's just common sense by this point in Madden, and I feel like a lot of people obviously already understand that concept. But this is by far one of the best offenses that I found. Not just because of that. That's just a mini scheme. Like, it's not even a scheme. It's literally one play. You can just do a lot with it, and it's really effective. The next that I wanted to focus on is tight doubles on. This looks a lot like snug flip. Once again, we'll just come out in a nice Tampa 2 just because a lot of people have been running like a lot of nickel, a lot of Tampa 2 and stuff. And you don't really see too many cover 3s. The reason I never really lab against cover 3, bro, if you run cover 3, I'm scoring a touchdown. There's so many one-play touchdowns against cover 3. There's literally no point. Cover 2, you can just do so much with that, whether it's back and side man it and stuff. But there's so many videos on YouTube, I'm not even going to waste your time. My favorite thing in gun tight doubles is probably Z-spot. Shot fade cross is really good. I'll show you all three of the plays that I really like. And pivot fork. Pivot fork and Z-spot are damn near identical, but what I do is I drag my triangle receiver, I drag my circle receiver, and then I bring my X tight end over. Reason is because for whatever reason, high passing this year seems to just kill anybody's user. Doesn't matter if they're using, it really doesn't. Now judging by what your opponent's set looks like, if it looks like they're blitzing, I suggest to block the running back. If not, you can just leave him on that little like out route that he was originally running. I'm just gonna put him on like a up and in now, just because you can't like audible back to his original route. But right here now, your 2 checkdowns, well 3 if you don't think your opponent's blitzing, is your running back and your 2 drags. That square receiver, you just leave him on that route, doesn't really matter. But you're really looking for X on the high pass cheese. That high pass dude, it doesn't really matter who's in that zone. If he wants to user it, if your tight end is tall enough, he will be able to come down with that. I'd say 9 times out of 10. It's very rare to really see anybody, like an AI can't even really just guard a high pass. It is ridiculous. Look at that. He came down with it, got hit before his feet even hit the ground, and he's still coming down with it. But I'm going to just show you it one more time, guys. And I'll show you with the checkdowns. let's just say X is pretty covered and you don't want to really take that risk. You can just pick your poison underneath, and as you can see with the rack, it's just beautiful, especially if they're coming out in Tampa 2. Like I said, they're going to be playing the priority yards. They're not going to be playing the underneath too much, but that's what you could do right there with the Z-spot play. Now, like I said, out of the same exact set, there is another really nice play. Pivot fork. As you can see, you literally would just run it the exact same. Just by looking at that play art, you can see all you would need to do is motion your tight end over. I don't want to waste your time and just bore you with that. Z-spot, it's the exact same thing. You just motion your tight end over. Look at the red route on each play. That hot route is the tight end, and it just gives you more versatility and stuff. But the other play that I feel like you guys should definitely see is shot fade cross. Once again, will just come out in everybody's favorite defense. Freaking Tampa 2, man. Obviously, I could be running dollar. A lot of people run dollar, but, you know, I can kind of dot up dollar a little bit easier just because there's 3 down linemen and such. And, you know, I'm not going to really be running backside man right now in a freaking practice. I'm just showing you guys the basics, and then it's up to you to adjust. Most of the time, like I said, there's a lot of people are just running these stationary cover 2s just because they know cover 3 is so susceptible to the deep ball. But right here, all you do is you drag that tight end, and it's just good for quick reads. I run this play so much just by dragging that tight end, and you could do so much more. You could literally put him on a fade route and just say bombs away, and your 2 reads are going to be triangle and X. Just because the one is like a drag, except it's a little bit higher. I'll show you the triangle route. You see the triangle route? It's literally like he runs 5 yards, then runs a drag. A drag is normally just right off the line of scrimmage. He just runs underneath. But the triangle route is literally like he goes up, then just runs a drag. And it slightly elevates as the route continues on. But most of the time, this is just for them like 3rd and 2 situations and stuff. Your opponent is going to have to pick his poison. For whatever reason, I feel like a lot of people like to use her from left to right. Meaning, they'll start in the middle, and they'll choose the guy that's running from the left to the right. I don't know why. I feel like that's actually a thing. Like, that's just my opinion. You could be like, you're crazy, but I feel like a lot of people will immediately bite on Antonio Brown. Dang, he got clocked. They will immediately bite on the receiver just because it's the receiver. And look at how much higher. Damn, can you hold on to the ball? Like, I'm trying to explain something, Ladarius. The triangle route will actually be bit on by a user more because he is running a higher route, meaning like for more yards. So their user will most likely be biting on that rather than this little underneath for the 2 yards. When in reality, if it's 3rd and 2, you need 2 yards. That's where your read's going to be. But that's one of my favorite plays out of that set right there. That was the, I think gun doubles on is what it's called, I think. Oh, tight doubles on. Then, obviously, you have your bunch week. Now, I'm not going to review bunch week just because bunch week is, like, really... It's so on YouTube. Like, I've made a scheme on it. I think every YouTuber who has ever just uploaded a video has probably made a scheme on it if you do Madden. Well, not a scheme, but, like, a tutorial on how to run it. But my last key sets right here is Gun Snugs. Most of you, like I said, probably know how to run bunch week. But right here out of Gun Snugs, Mesh is the first play I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the 2 different ways I run it. And we're going to just once again be going up against the Tampa 2. So originally, if you think there's going to be pressure, you just block your running back. And you can literally call it like this. Like I said, there's 2 routes. If you need like a yard or 2, you got the underneath. But if you really want this play to work at its best and just make it glitchy as all hell, you want to motion over that receiver on the right side, the one that's running that post. Once again, the high pass cheese is just so real. Okay, well, Big Ben just absolutely overthrew that. That's gonna happen sometimes, obviously, in Ultimate Team and stuff. But I just want to show you guys that again. The high pass cheese is just so real that once he comes across that middle of the field, you just know you're gonna have that read. You're just gonna have that read. It doesn't matter what user's in the vicinity. Now, I'm doing this with AB. AB obviously is shorter receiver, but he can run that route really nicely. If you have a receiver who, you know, has some height, who has the route running ability, like a Randy Moss or a Chad Johnson, you're going to be able to cash that in every single time. And then you have the 2 checkdowns. You have both drags. That's money. And my last play for this scheme that I just love so very much. I actually got burnt by this play quite a few times in my Road to Red Paint videos. But once again, against just any cover 2, even some cover 3s, if you can box it pretty well, you block your running back, put square on a slant. Now, it's your option. I like to motion square out and you're just going to watch Circle just absolutely torch his man right there, and it is going to, you could blind read that all day long. And when I say blind read, I just mean you can just chuck that up. I'll run it from another side now with DHB now. This time now slanting circle, so now square is going to be our read. It, for whatever reason, this play against cover twos, dude, oh my god, I just gotta freaking rely on the damn Pittsburgh offensive line to actually get a couple of seconds for Big Ben to throw it. But for whatever reason, man, this play this year is just so freaking glitchy. And like, just watch square. Look at square. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to freaking spy Coney Ely because he's just absolutely destroying Villanueva. Uno momento. I'm just going to spy the D-line. It doesn't really matter because on Ultimate Team, you're probably going to have a much better offensive line, obviously. So for the most part, I'm just going to try to show this as best I can for the practice mode simulation. So if I have to block that freaking dude or spy the freaking defensive line, I'm just going to do that for the case of this. But I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with this play. You just motion that guy out. Now just watch square, and he just gets open. The safety just goes so dumb on that play. I don't really know why he goes so dumb on that play. He just does. Now, obviously, if you have a left-handed quarterback, you want to run it like this. I know Big Ben's right-handed, but it's just to show like how dominant the play really is. Now, right here, I'm just going to run it one more time and just show you. You just wait, and you wait, and for whatever reason, that one corner just bites down so low. I'll run it one more time to this side now. I'm just going to spy Coney Ely and somebody else so that I don't get bum rushed in like 2 seconds again. But right here now, you're going to be reading for circle, and circle gets open, and then circle is just butt naked. It's money, man, and you can just interchange the entire time while you're running this scheme. It does have iForm Pro for running. I'm so out of just tips, and a lot of you have just said, yo, what is this scheme? You're getting so many yards on offense. So I figured I'd drop it for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smack a like on the button, comment down below any questions, and subscribe if you're new, man. Have a wonderful rest of your night.